year on this course. And Quinten Hermans, who chose to go to gravel instead of going to the World Cups. But he did it with very good effect, taking the gravel world title. There's Zdeněk Štýbar. He's got a lot to do to get himself through the field, but it's not muddy and it's not too technical. Could be good for him. We're on red, we wait for green to get this race underway. All concentration, a good start is what is required. And we're underway in Tábor, round 3 of the UCI World Cup Cyclo-Cross, and a very fast start on the right-hand side from Quinten Hermans. Hermans goes absolutely flat out and almost a touch of wheels of Lars van der Haar. It's Hermans, Timon Rugg making his move on the right-hand side. Look like Michael van Turnhout, they're going shoulder to shoulder. Van Turnhout, he sneaks through very, very fast onto the grass. Van Turnhout opens up just a couple of lengths as he went into the grass that time. On his wheel then Quinten Hermans, then Laurens Sweeck. On the wheel, Lars van der Haar. Let's get an idea of where Štýbar is. Did he make his way through? There is Štýbar. He's done pretty well so far. Gritting is everything, isn't it? Anton Bastians there in that turquoise-coloured kit up towards the front. There is Štýbar. Getting his way through the field. If he can get himself to the front early, could be very good news for the Quick Step Alpha vinyl rider. Still got a lot to do. You don't get on that front row of the grid. It's so difficult. Michael van Turnhout, Quinten Hermans, Laurens Sweeck, Lars van der Haar, Anton Bastians, Timon Rugg has drifted away a little. It's incredibly quick so far. The first lap of these races at the moment, the heart rate is so high. You are right into the red zone, off the grid. Lars van der Haar last time, as we heard, didn't do the hurdling over the barriers, but still managed to take the victory here in Tábor. He beat Elias a bit, Quinten Hermans, Turnhout, Michael van Turnhout and Laurens Sweeck. And that was the first victory of Lars van der Haar since January 2017. It had been a long, long time since he had won a World Cup. Since then, van der Haar has been on wonderful form. So far this season, van der Haar finished 3rd in Waterloo, chose not to ride in Fayetteville. He went back home, maybe thinking about the jet lag, getting over that a bit quicker. Wanted to go back and spend it with his family. And we're all in one long line at the moment. We'll see how things settle down. There's still no real daylight in the string of riders. Everybody's still there. No one has left a gap, even under the momentum set by Michael van Turnhout on the front. Onto the stairs. Quinten Hermans rode his first cyclocross of the season just a few days ago in Ardui. In the end, he finished almost a minute ahead of the second place rider, the Spaniard Felipe Orts. So Hermans, having come off the gravel, is already feeling strong, and he's riding 3rd wheel at the moment. Rides on the road for Intermarché Wanty Gobert, rides cross for the Tourmans team. But they are the same squad, as you can see from the outfit that he's wearing, that neon yellow on the front. This is a lovely shot, the way this camera is positioned. everyone knows that with the sun drying this course out a little, it's going to give everybody the ability to just sit in the wheels, be flat out. But there's no real trudges through mud or anything else, snow that we've dealt with, ice that we've dealt with here in Tábor before. I don't know about you, but it feels like Tábor should be in the snow. It feels a bit odd that we're not now getting that. We're getting it on the more dry conditions. Leading from Michael Van Turn now. There's Stibar. Doing too badly. Getting himself through, 27th at the moment. Van Turnhout following the wheel of Quinten Hermans. Here's the hurdles, and Van Turnhout managed to jump those. Lars van der Haar doesn't. And a problem there on the left-hand side. Hermans settles things down a little. Sweet moves up on the right-hand side in that green and white kit. Colours of the Belgian champion around the sleeves. Bit of a procession now that things have calmed down. There he is, a bit moves up on the left-hand side as we look in that red and white kit. World Cup leader, the white jersey with the flashes of red across it. First time we ever really started to notice Michael Van Turnhout was in the 2015 season, where he was under 23 world champion. Van Turnhout happy to take on the pacemaking, but not making it really hard. Van Soot there in second place. So thanks for joining us. This is the UCI World Cup Cyclo-Cross. If you'd like to get in touch, please feel free. At Ant McCrossan is where you can get hold of me, the same way that SM Carter has done. Hello to you. Thanks for getting in touch. And also Eric Emter, thank you very much for your message earlier on today. Van Turnhout still setting the pace. Soot in second, Lawrence Sweek in green and white. Van der Haar wears that red helmet with the white European champions jersey. To be able to sprint absolutely flat out in these races, your recovery from being flat out has got to be quick. Otherwise, you have real difficulty in dealing with a cyclocross race. The intensity is absolutely immense.
Let's show the best riders the atmosphere here in Tábor and cheer them to the road section of the boat.
Van Soot having a good start. We come up to the end of lap number 1. Let's see what the lap time is going to be as we conclude this lap. A long lap of 3.35 kilometres all across the road as they went there. An 8:02 lap for the riders. Looks like we may well get around about 7 or 8 laps of racing. We'll see how this unfolds. At the end of the second lap, we'll understand how far the race is going to be. And so refusing to let everyone have his line as he goes back towards the front. Both in the last few rounds, 6th in Fayetteville. Earlier on in the season, last year, he was 6th in Namur, which really shows that you can deal with the intensity of a very tough effort. Namur is such a hard race. Quite unusual not to have Namur in the World Cup next in the next couple of months. But we will get to enjoy rounds of racing such as Dublin, which I'm sure is going to be absolutely fantastic coming up towards the middle to end of the season. The last round this time will be in Besançon in France. We did have Besançon this season, last season, won by Ellie Isabit ahead of Tonertz and Tim Ronhaar. That was in last year's run of races. 14 rounds this time, 15 rounds last time. And still one long line of riders. Led at the moment by Tissarts in the colours of the Baloise Trek Lions. Problems with Tonertz are not resolved yet. Of course, he was suspended. And we're not sure whether Tonertz is going to come yet back to cyclocross, how this is going to unfold. We'll see whether any rider is able to just make this race a bit more difficult, because we've got a very, very big group of riders here. I think there's probably around maybe even 30 riders in this front group. It is single track at the moment, so riders will find it a little bit more difficult to move up, and the pace is high, therefore you're just following wheels. It's pretty hard to understand that Laurens Sweeck still hasn't got that World Cup win he's been looking for. So many places. Second in Waterlooville, second in Fayetteville, and if we go back last year as well, he had 4th place in Flemonville. He was also involved in a lot of the action in some of the races earlier on in last season. But this year he's certainly looking the best he has for a while. Finished second in Coxsider last year, but that is his traditional race where we always expect him to be up at the front on the sand in Coxsider. Laurens Sweeck on the front, Quinten Hermann second wheel, then Ellie Isabit. Isabit looks to have leaned down a considerable amount during the winter, heading towards this season. Isabit was always a much more awful rider when you looked at him. Starting to make his way up towards the front is Thomas Main. He's in the colours of the British champion. He's lying about 15th place at the moment. Laurens Sweeck comes down that corner, but no one's prepared to really drive this on hard. Up to the hurdles, Sweeck jumps those well. Quinten Hermann's unable to, Lars van der Haar the same. Dan Soap does. And it gives you that little subtle advantage. Let's take a little look. Here's Sweeck as he jumps the hurdles, doesn't make a really clean job of it. Quinten Hermann didn't seem to lose too much, but a little bit of air, and a problem there for Lars van der Haar, even as he jumped it himself. 13.5 minutes have gone. Sweeck leads, Isabit second, Quinten Hermann's the gravel world champion in third. 4th, Michael van Turnhout, 5th, Dan Soap, 6th is Lars van der Haar. 7th place, just behind, making his move up. Swiss rider, as he goes to the front now. That's Kevin Kuhn. He now takes over the pace-making. As is traditional at Cyclo-Cross, if you've not joined us for a race before, the cowbells being rung in the background. That's the atmosphere that you always know at a big Cyclo-Cross event. Felipe Orts absolutely flat out in the camera there. Vincent Bastien's a little bit further back. Stibar also. It just will take, though, a slowing of the tempo for some of those riders to make their way right back up to the front. Hermans sets the pace. The first event here in Tábor was held in 1996, won by Herregas. Sven Nys actually took a victory in 1998 and went on to win this Tábor Cyclo-Cross 4 times in his career. Mathieu van der Poel has also won on 4 occasions. Starting in 2015, he won in 17, 18 and 19 as well. And if we go back to 2013, Lars van der Haar also took the win here in Tábor. We have to go all the way back to 2010 for Stibar to be the victor here. Quinten Hermans on the front, wearing number 7. Will it be lucky 7 for him today? This a bit looks like he's kind of cruising in 3rd place, coming up towards the end of this lap. 8:02 last time. It's just been corrected for Quinten Hermans to an 8:03. Everyone takes a look around. There's a few riders who've got themselves back into this race who probably didn't expect it. As we make our way across the line this time, another big attack comes from Ryan Kamp. Ryan Kamp makes his move. It's an 8:02 lap for Ryan Kamp, as fast as the last lap. All the other riders were around about 5 seconds slower. Fastest lap so far. T-Souts with an 8:2.01. Canso with an 8:2.05. Then Van Turenhout, Laurens Sweeck, Ryan Kamp, who just made that move. Ryan Kamp, the under-23 world champion in 2020. He sets the tempo. 8 laps of race to go through as we anticipated. As a few riders got themselves back into a better position at the end of that lap. Stibar's now moved up 6 places into 21st. Behind him, some of his teammates. Ryman also up there. Ryan Kamp trying to just keep the momentum going, keep the pace making going. Michael Boros moves up. Boros has won this cross in 2016. He's going to give the Czech public something to shout about because he's moved up into 4th or 5th place now. Boros having a wonderful day. Ryan Kamp pushes on the pace just a little bit further. Sweeck in 2nd, maintaining a watch on what's going on at the front of this race. This Tábor Cross looks like it might serve us up what the women's race did. Big group of riders maintaining pace at the front. Little attack at the front. Long line of riders. Lap 3 of 8. Now we start to see the World Cup leader take the pace on. Elizabeth onto the stairs. Starts to push the pace a little. Lawrence Sweek in second place. He is riding superbly in that green and white kit. And now the big attack comes from Elizabeth. Elizabeth trying to break away. He's decided that the rest of this group is riding much too steadily at the moment. Herman's trying to get across. And Elizabeth really is firing now as he jumps away. Boris desperately trying to stay in the wheels. Elizabeth so far this season has been unbeatable.
Náročná stoupání, která jsou ve skydech pro závodníky připravená, jsou opravdu těžká. V etapě nastoupat 3000 metrů.
Elizabeth looks like he has been working so hard during the summer months to get himself fit. He has changed body shape, hasn't he? He's always little, but he looks so much more able to have this little jump, these accelerations. Lars van der Haar sprinting for all he is worth as he went through the shot. Then Dan Soot under a little bit of pressure now. The crowd really getting behind Elizabeth as he accelerates hard. Is this the moment where he breaks the race? Lawrence Sweek trying to get on terms and is closing up. It's a bit just steadies up now, having put everybody under pressure. Lawrence Sweek, the only rider able to go with him at the moment. Herman's trying to drag himself across. Michael van Turen out, not giving in yet. Lars van der Haar. There's Michael Boros on the back. Boros riding for this Elkhoff Casper team. It's a bit, the way he jumps the hurdles, daylight between him and the hurdle below. Elizabeth decides just to calm down. That first big acceleration, he'll understand what sort of selection he's made. Still unable to quite close the gap. He's managed to make a selection of 7 riders, and that's probably what he wanted to do. Too many riders involved in the action. At the end of the day, we had well over 20 riders all in one long line, but with that little bit of a move, Elizabeth's been pretty clever on whittling it down to a much more select group. He's got rid of Dan Soot, he's got rid of Tissards, he's also got rid of Niels van der Putte. So he's ended up with Ryan Campion here, Michael van Turen out, as we come up to the end of lap number 3. The last lap was an 8:02 lap. This one looks like it will be pretty quick. The end of 9.75 kilometers. Michael van Turen out on the front. That was an 8:07 lap that time. In fact, no, that's been corrected, a 7:43 lap. That was very, very quick indeed. So we've gone 8:02, 8:02, 7:43. That's a fast lap from Elizabeth. 24 minutes of racing gone by. The selection at the front, Van Turenhout, Sweek in the green and white, Quinten Hermans in the neon yellow, Elizabeth in that white and red jersey, Lars van der Haar, last time's winner, then Ryan Kamp, and then just behind him Michael Boros in the colours of the Czech Republic. Boros sitting 7th wheel. The rest of the group trying to come back across. It may well be that we get a general regroupment after that acceleration of Elizabeth. Elizabeth just staying in 3rd place at the moment. Onto the stairs again, a little bit more of a stretch of the pace.
Dnes je pořadatelem 3. dílu světového poháru cyklokrosu. Máme tady čelo závodu, budeme koukat po...
Sweek is constantly riding 2nd place, isn't he? Knows that he's made a mistake last time in Fayetteville where he didn't quite get the sprint right into that headwind, but today it looks like he doesn't want to make the same mistake. He's a bit looking for a clean sweep of races so far. He's already won the first 2, but Lawrence Sweek would like to change the pattern. Lawrence Sweek, who quite often has a training camp in Mallorca, stays down the coast from the capital of Mallorca, Palma, and quite often see him riding on the sand on the beach during the winter time. Michael Van Turenhout on the front, Quinten Hermans 2nd place. Now we've got a lot more riders in this front group. I think Elizabeth will want to try and split this again. He's already found out that 7 riders are feeling good. The others are able to work their way back over a period of time. But Elizabeth will definitely want to try and make more of a selection. His teammate making a move, Michael Van Turenhout. This Bingoal Paul Sausen team. Bingoal, big supporters of cycling in Belgium, of course. They've got the Bingoal team on the road. Paul Sausen, if you ever go to a Belgian cyclocross, the chances are that you would have had Paul Sausen on your frites. Fast little downhill section as Van Turenhout just tries to kick away. We're coming up towards the midway point on round 3 of this cyclocross. For the first time, we're seeing a bike change. Quinten Hermans goes into the pits. I think that's the first bike change we've seen in either of the races so far. Van Turenhout jumps the hurdles, opens up just a couple of seconds, 4 seconds in fact, as Elizabeth from Sweek tried to bring him back. Van der Haar still hovering in 4th place. Big problem there for Ryan Kamp as he almost went sideways. Those of you who are fans of Stybar, he's now moved up into 17th place He's having a good race so far. The former world champion won the world title in 2010 and 2011. Van Turenau has really made a move though. This is a real flourish as he jumps away. Get back to Sweeck, to Elisabeth van der Haar and Quinten Hermans. Little gap back to Dan So, to Michael Boros. The lap time so far then, an 8:02, 8:02, 7:43. This lap looks like it might be just a little bit quicker. Van Turenau is making short work of this. Second in the World Cup last year, wants to make his way up to the top of the leaderboard again. Doesn't want Elisabeth to have it all his own way. Elisabeth won 7 World Cup rounds last season and he's already set up with 2. Only needs another 5 and he's equalled it. Elisabeth, surely last year, was by far the best rider. That's in terms of consistency. Ultimately, he didn't win the World Championships. Took the bronze medal last time to Lars van der Haar, who was silver medalist. Tom Pidcock was the winner of the World Championships last season. Van Turenau is still holding this lead. Getting close then to the end of lap number 4. Sweeck is still riding with real strength at the moment. End of lap number 4. Nearly 13 kilometres of racing covered. Let's take a look at the lap time this time. Van Turenau is making everybody else suffer. 31 minutes 47 seconds gone. We're on an 8-lap schedule. That's the fastest lap of the race so far. 7 minutes 40 seconds. An average speed of 25.01 kilometres an hour. Across the line that time. Let's just run through the top 10 for you then. Michael van Turenau, Laurens Sweeck, Elisabeth, Lars van der Haar, Quinten Hermans, Michael Boros, Kevin Kuhn, Dan Soter, Mies Hendricks and Niels van der Putte. Stibar down in 17th place. Little flourish there by Albert Poble of Spain. Elisabeth now takes over the pacemaking. That little section there, very interesting the way you've got to just rock and roll your way through it, taking left and right turns. The 5 strongest riders now find themselves with a bit of daylight on the rest of the peloton. Elisabeth, having seen Sweeck wants to get into second place. Squeeze through on the inside. This is lap number 5 of the 8 laps of round 3 of the UCI World Cup Cyclo-Cross. Quinten Hermans opened up his Cyclo-Cross season just a few days ago in Ardrui with a victory. Sweeck is able to just ride across to Elisabeth. This could be the day for Laurens Sweeck. Is he going to finally win a round of the World Cup? Now they all settle down into the top positions again. Swake has finished twice the bronze medalist in the European Championships. He's won the Super Prestige. He's won the National Championships of Belgium. But when we go through the World Cup, he has always managed to get podium finishes. Seconds, thirds, second in Coxsider, second in Zolder, third in Nome, for example, second in Coxsider last year, second and third, second this year, also in Waterloo and Fayetteville. Looking for this first big win. Second in Zolder, third in Iowa during his time on the World Cup circuit. We first noticed Laurent Swake when he won the Under-23 World Cup. He took victories in Zolder and Hoogerheide. That was in the 2014-2015 season. He's now 28 years of age, comes from Leuven in Belgium. He's the rider in the white and green. Van Turnhout leads in the red and black. Behind him his teammate Isabit, then Swake, then Van der Haar. And on the back of the group, still Quinten Hermans. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm Anthony McCrossan. This is the UCI World Cup Cyclo-Cross round number 3. If you'd like to get in touch, please follow at UCI_cycling. At McCrossan is where you can message me on social media. I think we've got our elite group at the front now, haven't we? Our 5 riders who are proving to be the strongest. How is this going to play out? The fastest sprinter in here, probably Lars van der Haar. If not, Isabit, and in third place, you would say Quinten Hermans. The group behind, though, are refusing to give in. There's Stibar coming round the corner. If things relent at the front, anything might happen. I've had some questions from you asking when Mathieu van der Poel, Tom Pidcock and Wout van Aert are coming back. We haven't got any major indication from them yet. Tom Pidcock's been pretty busy in the USA over the last few weeks. Mathieu van der Poel having a rest after everything that's happened to him at the end of the season, and Wout van Aert having had a very busy road season, also having a little bit of a holiday before they come back to cyclocross racing later on in the season. Bit of a stalemate going on at the front of this race now. This might allow Boros and some other riders back in. Kevin Kuhn as well, the Swiss rider, is a bit recognises that, doesn't want these riders to come back in. He's already made the selection that he wants, so he goes through just to push on the pace a little more. There's not much he can do though if everybody else isn't going to share the pace making. 8, 9, 10 riders almost back at the front. Isabit always has that watch on, doesn't he? Always keeps an eye on what is happening. You see him start it on the start line. Always switches it off as soon as he crosses the finish. Isabit just accelerates a little bit harder, doesn't want this group to close the gap. And now we get a much bigger acceleration from the World Cup leader. If Isabit doesn't have the support of the rest of this front group, though, there's not too much he can do. Looks like Niels van der Putte is about to bring this race a little bit back together and allow in a lot of riders. We come up to the end of lap 5, and still we don't know who's going to take this win. An exciting race this afternoon. Let's see what the lap time is going to be. It was a 7:40 last time for the leader. This time we see Eli Isabit cross the line at the end of lap 5. It was a slow lap, an 8:10, the slowest lap of the race so far. Stybar's only a few seconds off the front. What a moment it would be if Stybar could make his way to the front of a World Cup cyclocross after so many seasons. Junction is made. Around 12 riders, maybe even more now in the front. Niels van der Putte's made it in the colours of Alpecin de Koning. Kevin Kuhn also, Michael Boros, Dan Soot. More riders coming across. Isabit tries to stretch the tempo just one more time. Stybar is now 15 seconds off the front of this race. Lap number 6 of the 8 that we're going to cover. Let us know who you think might win today's race, because right now there's many riders able to take the victory. I have to marvel at the way that Isabit's able to deal with the contours of this course. He just looks superb, sprinting his way with those fast legs up the steps. Makes short work of those. Makes it look so simple. Oh, and Lawrence Wake has a problem, and that holds up him and Van Turen out, allowing Isabit to just open up a few more lengths. Isabit makes it look so easy. This is not easy. Your heart rate is incredibly high, your breathing is heavy, and yet Isabit makes it look like he's just gliding his way over these little contours, through the corners, through the twists and turns, letting the bike do the work. Still anyone's race as Swake tries to close the gap. Still got a bit of work to do. Onto the stairs. Still a couple of seconds difference between these riders. Isabit attacks hard this time, knows that he's got a lead, therefore he can make everyone hurt a bit more. Glances around just to see, has he got enough seconds? Are they still full of riding? I think the answer is Swake definitely is. Quinten Hermans looks to be suffering a little bit at the back. Lars van der Haar has been clever. He's just followed the wheels today. Coming up now to the 45-minute mark, almost 3/4 of an hour of racing here in Tábor. Tábor, the meaning of the word translates to camp or encampment. The town was actually named after Mount Tábor, located in Israel. Has about 33,000 inhabitants, this place, and it's used to cyclocross. Come into town every single winter. The lead's still intact for Elizabeth, and he's making it quite difficult for the rest of the riders to come back. Having jumped those hurdles, Elizabeth now really starts to make everyone hurt. Look at the speed of him as he jumped it this time. He makes that look so simple, and considering you are going uphill in mud, that is not easy at all. Can Swake bring this back? Elizabeth's opened up a little bit more of a lead this time. 3 or 4 seconds as he tries to press home his advantage. Elizabeth sprinting hard. Well, he's kind of dangled out there for a little while, and now he's got his lead. He's decided, okay, if you're not coming straight back to me, then I'm going to make your life hard. Is Swake using up a little bit too much energy to win this race? At the end of the day, sometimes you have to be prepared to lose to win. Elizabeth looking for his 3rd win of the season in the World Cups. Quinton Herman sprinting absolutely flat out, wearing number 7. This little section you've got to get right, can be a little slidey on the outturn here. Swake knows this is a very important moment. The World Cup leader just letting the bike move the way it wants to. Isn't fighting anything, is he? Just letting the body flow, the bike flow, and that gives him the speed that he's got on this track. Next time round, he's going to get the bell. Swake hasn't given in yet. The gap is still there. Fantastic racing as always in Tábor. Last year, Swake was in 6th place. Elizabeth was beaten by Van der Haar. Quinton Hermans was 3rd. Michael Van Turnhout was 5th. Similar names again as we come up to take the bell. Bell lap for the leader. Sorry, one more lap to go after this. We come up to the end of lap 6. .7:29. My apologies then. We're on lap 6. We're on lap 7 of 8 now. 7:29 for Elizabeth. That was an absolutely flat-out lap. The fastest lap of the race so far from Elizabeth, 25.61 kilometers an hour. And Swake is fighting his way back. Elizabeth is going long now to try and win this race. Behind him, Swake is edging closer. Lars van der Haar still there. Michael Van Turnhout. And Quinton Hermans really is suffering at the back. Can Elizabeth hold on to this advantage he's got? Swake is not giving in at all, is he? Coming up to the 50-minute mark. This is going to be a pretty long race. Let's see, well over an hour of racing this afternoon in this men's race in comparison to the women's race, which was 6 laps in length. There's a rundown at the bottom of the screen for you of where the riders are of the different nationalities. Isabit really has opened up the gas this time. Front turn out, staying in the wheels. Isabit, every now and then they get to within a couple of seconds of him and they're then unable to close the gap. And again, he puts on the pressure. This is the part of the course where Isabit is really making everyone else look like they are under huge pressure. This is the point where he opens up the gap yet again. Fastest lap then, 7:29.7. Lawrence Sweeck's fastest lap is 7:32.9. Lars van der Haar is 7:34.7. And Isabit again now opens the gap back to 4 seconds, where Sweeck was literally back on the wheel. And Lars van der Haar, is he biding his time? We know that Van der Haar went back from the States a little bit earlier, so he'll have had more recovery time in terms of the jet lag scenario. But whether he's still got the speed to match Isabit on this course remains to be seen. The gap opens up again. It's now 6 seconds. And this rider, having won the first 2 rounds, really is making everybody have to work extremely hard, having attacked so hard. This is impressive riding from the World Cup leader. And now he really is sprinting after these hurdles. That's where he made his lead last time. Sweeck knows, I have to get back to him now. Surely not another place on the podium behind Isabit again this season. Last year for Isabit, in terms of the World Cup, he took the victory ahead of Van Turenhout. Tonerts was in 3rd place. We know that he's now suspended. Quinten Hermans in 4th place. Lars van der Haar and Lawrence Sweeck. That was the World Cup last time. And this rider absolutely dominated with those 7 victories that he took. Stybar down in 17th. He's not really made his way forward other than 17th place. And now Lars van der Haar decides to attack hard. There's the answer as to whether he's been waiting. I think the answer is a definite yes. He knows that now he's got to make the difference. Van der Haar attacks on lap 7. This is a massive attack from Lars van der Haar. The European champion goes flying across. Well, they say on the road, when you jump across a gap, do it quickly, do it as fast as you possibly can. Van der Haar doesn't want this gap to grow any further. He's got to do it, and he's got to do it quick. The gap is currently 9 seconds. That right foot just comes out as he kicks his way around that turn. Isabit into the next turn. There's Lars van der Haar in the background, making his way downhill. Penultimate lap of racing for these riders. It's now man against man in Tábor. Here is Lars van der Haar. The first round of racing, Van der Haar took third in Waterloo. Delighting, of course, his Trek team. This time we are going to get the bell. Lap 7 of 8 has been completed and Isabit has the advantage. Final lap of racing and there's the gap. It's now 6 seconds. We're saying 8 seconds. It looked like they went across at 6, but we'll call it 8 and we'll see what happens on the last lap. That was a 7:31 lap for Eli Isabit, a 7:32 lap for Lars van der Haar. Van der Haar now needs to really put in a fast final lap to get himself across to the World Cup leader. There's a gap between the two of them. Van der Haar, did he leave it too late before he made his move? The race situation then, Eli Isabit leads ahead of Lars van der Haar. In third place, Laurens Sweeck, then Michael van Turnhout, Quinten Hermans, Kevin Kuhn in 6th place, heading towards a great position overall. Michael Boris has dropped down into 9th place. A little bit further back, Stybar in 17th. Thanks very much for your messages. Jim Hodgson, thanks for saying hello this afternoon. The gap is still being maintained by Isabit, just measuring his effort. The gap is 8 seconds. Van der Haar closed a little bit, but he's not getting much closer to this fast-moving World Cup leader. There's the gap between them. Van der Haar sprinting for all he is worth, tends to use a slightly bigger gear than Eli Isabit where possible. Can he just grind his way back to the front before this course runs out? In the green and white, Laurens Sweeck. In the red and black, Michael van Turnhout, then Quinten Hermans. This course of just over 3 kilometres in length always produces a good fight. This time it's produced an interesting race. But you kind of felt like the World Cup leader was just biding his time, waiting until he could make his move, and he's finally made it and he's gone clear. Isabit is making shorter work of the steps as well, as you can see. The question now is who's going to get on the podium, Michael van Turnhout or Laurens Sweeck. Behind them, Quinten Hermans not giving in. Isabit still holding this gap and growing it now to 10 seconds. Everybody just spread out across this course. Michael van Turnhout desperately trying to get himself back up to Lars van der Haar now. He's made a little bit of a shift forwards. We're on the final lap here in Tábor. 8 laps of racing today. We're just coming up to the 1 hour point. There's our fastest laps, 7:29.7, Eli Isabit. Lawrence Wake 3 seconds slower, then Lars van der Haar 3 seconds slower. Isabit did that on the lap that he went on the attack. 25.6 kilometers an hour was his average speed, which is pretty impressive considering the little uphill sections, the stairs, the hurdles you have to deal with. Still the lead, 9 seconds. Van der Haar has closed up, but he just can't close the rest of it. Van Turnhout has a bit of daylight between him and Lawrence Wake. It has been an almighty fight between these riders. You think at one point we had a front group of over 20. That's diminished in numbers. And suddenly you've just got ones and twos spread all over this course. 1 hour of racing has been completed, and the rider in the front is the World Cup leader, Ellie Isabit. Lars van der Haar now at 11 seconds. So impressive to see the way this World Cup leader rides. Once he attacks, it's so hard to go with him. Van der Haar sprinting, stamping hard on the pedals, trying to keep the momentum forward. But Van der Haar, he's ridden an intelligent race in order to put himself on the podium again here on the course that he knows so well, having won here on 2 occasions. There's a gap now, confirmed at 11 seconds. It's around about 17 seconds further to Michael van Turnhout, who's now 5 seconds ahead of Lawrence Wake. You can see that Van der Haar is not getting any closer. That initial jump brought him close to the wheel of Ellie Isabit, but this time it's just not going to happen for him, unfortunately. There's Michael van Turnhout. Behind him, Swake is a beaten man in 4th. We're getting set for the victory of Ellie Isabit. He's almost at the conclusion of this round in Tábor. Isabit will make the final left-hand turn, swoosh his way into the finish straight and get set up, because so far this rider is unbeaten. Ellie Isabit of the Bengal Paul Salson team, the World Cup leader. 3 rounds in, and it's 3 wins. He takes Tábor as well. 2nd place to Lars van der Haar, who close to 5 seconds at the finish. 3rd place is going to go to Michael van Turnhout. 3rd place in Fayetteville. 3rd place this time. And behind him, the rider who rode so well in the early stages, Lawrence Wake. With a watch on one wrist and a whoop band on the other, he crosses the line. Same goes for Quinten Hermans, doing the same thing. Behind them, coming up to complete the course, Jens Adams, Niels van der Putte. Just behind is Kevin Kuhn. And Michael Boros finishes in the top 10 for the Czech Republic. The final top 10 place will go to Tisart. Van Soot in that group as well. Mies Hendricks comes across the line. He's going to finish in 15th place. Then Felipe Orts, the Spaniard, and the double world champion Zdeněk Štýbar. He's enjoyed that. Finishes in the top 20. Štýbar is 17th today. Thomas Mine, 18th place for the British champion. But no doubt whatsoever as to who is the top rider today. Elizabeth does it again. Beats Lars van der Haar into second place. See Lars van der Haar sprinting behind him. But Elizabeth had time to just settle down, clean the jersey off, take the victory salute, wins in Tábor. High fives for the crowds. Fan turnout. 2 podium finishes so far. 4th place in the first round of racing. As we get ready for the podium presentation of the 3rd round of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup.